Hello fellow collectors and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at Leader Class Robots in Disguise 2000 Universe Scourge from the Transformers Velocitron Speedia 500 collection from Hasbro. So definitely a bit of a mouthful there, but basically this is just Scourge from the original Robots in Disguise, not the Prime sequel. Now this here says 2000. I definitely remember it being 2001 when I tried to do some Googling. Car Robots, which is the Japanese version, happened in 2000. Robots in Disguise happened in 2001, but the internet has just decided to lump them all together. I even checked IMDb and it just has them listed together as one thing and it just says 2000. So I'm assuming that's what Hasbro Googled when they looked for this and didn't actually look for the actual release date of the show here in the US, but it doesn't really matter. In any case, this is Scourge. I always call him Black Convoy. That's what he was called in Car Robots. And I thought at one point they told us they were going to call this Black Convoy, but it's Scourge again. So that's fine. Call it what you like, whatever name you prefer. The Velocitron Speedia 500 collection is the Walmart exclusive line. So if you're looking for this guy, only going to be able to find him at Walmart. Now, you can probably find him online. That's where I got mine. I have not seen this guy in stores at all, but he's been available with decent frequency on their website. So he's kind of been popping in and out. So if you're looking for him, definitely check the Walmart website. That's most likely how you're going to find him. But packaging, really beautiful. I love the packaging for this subline for Walmart. Really blue, which I think makes sense. Again, Walmart. But I love the artwork. I think, you know, having everything kind of come in vehicle mode makes sense because it's kind of supposed to be, you know, the Speedia 500 race or whatever. So I think that's kind of fun. Up here, we have a picture of the vehicle mode of the actual toy. And then we have the same artwork for the vehicle mode on the front and on the top flap, just kind of mirrored. Not really anything going on there on the bottom. Over here, we just kind of have the picture wrapping around with Black Convoy or Scourge in robot mode. And then over here, we just have a close-up again. You can see somebody took a box cutter to mine, probably when they were opening the case. I don't keep these. In any case, here on the back, we have the robot mode, we have the vehicle mode, we have the base mode. This is just a very nice repaint of the first wave of Legacy G2 Laser Prime, which makes sense because this original toy was just a repaint of the original Laser Prime, so just kind of keeping that going. But yeah, really nice packaging. Very excited to finally get this guy. This show, 2000, 2001, whatever you'd like to call it, does not get a lot of love, and I loved that show. I really wish I could get a home media release for it, but that's a debate for another time. Let's go ahead, let's get Scourge out of the packaging here, and we'll take a closer look. Here he is out of the packaging. He does come packaged in vehicle mode. He looks absolutely fantastic. I've always been a huge fan of this color scheme. You have the black, the silver, the pink, and the teal. Just really all work really well together, in my opinion. This is, of course, the exact same mold as the Legacy G2 Laser Prime we saw in the first wave. So I will bring him in so you can just do a quick little comparison. But it is the exact same mold, so very much exactly the same here. You do have a lot of nice silver paint on the tanker up here, which I think is something that really pops. They do have the nice red paint down here, but this is just gray plastic. And having this all painted silver, I think, really stands out. But of course, if you wanted, you could switch the trailers since they are exactly the same. So if you like that look for Prime, give him a little bit fancier silver paint job on his trailer, you absolutely could do that. And then we'll just take a look at the two cabs here. Honestly, they're both really great color schemes. Both of these came out really, really good. So I love that. I'm going to go ahead and put Prime off to the side here. So that just drops in very easily. You get a really nice range of motion in terms of swiveling that around. And you just lift that right back out. So I will transform the trailer real quick. There's not a ton to it, honestly. You're going to just... Oh, I did want to show this off quick. You can flip this out like this if you want to have that kind of stand up when it's not attached to the cab. Again, if you've seen my video for G2 Laser Prime, it's going to have pretty much all the same features because it is the exact same toy. This is going to lift up. This is going to flip up like this. These are going to flip down. This little ramp comes down. And then we're going to take this. This, I think, has to rotate like this. And then this is going to fold in half. And then you can flip up the little gun. And then you can take this little grabber claw and kind of position that however you would like. This can rotate. If you want, you can actually pull this off and have him use this as a gun in robot mode. It'll fit any of the normal pegs. So he's got pegs on the side of his legs and his hands. Shoulder it could even mount to. We'll try that out a little bit later on in robot mode. But so that can swivel around. This whole turret can swivel around. You have a ball joint and a hinge. So there's a hinge here, and then there's a ball joint in this section here. So there's a decent range of motion there. This can move. Unfortunately, the way this bends, there's not much you can do with it. You can kind of bring it a little bit more forward. But it's a little difficult. I kind of wish you could do this the other way, just so you would have a little bit more motion. Like, I wish this could bend more fully down this way. But it is what it is. And then you can see here we have his two accessories, which store very nicely inside the trailer when it's all closed up. We have this axe weapon. You flip the handle out like that, and then you have the sword. I'm not a huge fan of this weapon, I gotta be honest, but I absolutely love the sword. I think that looks fantastic. So I'm going to put this off to the side for now. You can store these on the cab as well. You can see there's two little spots right there. And there are these two little pegs right there and there. So you can go ahead and drop this on here like that. And then you can actually fold this back up. And then there are two little spots right there that these two tabs can pop onto. Like that. Now, unfortunately, you will not be able to have him pull the trailer if you pop this on the back like this. But you can store both of those on the cab in vehicle mode, which is kind of cool. Alright, I'm going to remove them so we can go ahead and get into our robot transformation here. Alright, so if you've transformed the G2 Laser Prime from the first wave of Legacy, this is pretty much exactly the same. There's really nothing different going on here. So I'm going to kind of breeze through it fairly quickly, but I'll still touch on what's going on. So we're going to go ahead and flip out the toes and the heels. So now we have our feet. We're going to go ahead and lift up the arms, or what will become the arms. We're going to flip up these panels here so that they are unlocked like so. Then we're going to kind of straighten the legs out, and then we can lift this section back like this. We're also going to have to open up the top of the cab here. I think that's about as far as we can get that at this moment. Then we're going to split this in half like this, and these are going to kind of rock down here to the sides like that. This is going to kind of lift up and slide around like this. And then this section will flip up and tab in, kind of snap into place there to finish the abdomen. Alright, I believe at this point we can bring this down. Let me zoom out here a little bit. So this is going to open up. You can start to bring these out to the side. I don't think you can do them all the way over to the side yet, but you can get them about halfway started. This is going to come up. At this point, I like to lift these little flaps up just to get them out of the way. These are going to flip up and form the sides of the torso. So just make sure you have plenty of clearance for everything, and then that's going to come and snap into place. Do I have these? I think I have these pushed in a little too far. No, that's right. And then this is going to come down and snap over top of all of that. These are going to come in and snap into place over here. Then we're going to rotate the bicep 180 degrees so they'll line up like that. Then you can kind of really drop these down where they're supposed to go. The head is going to flip around and peg into place there. This little flap right here will fold down to fill in some empty space. Sometimes this can be a little easier said than done. There we go. That's going to close up so that when we close this up and that rests on the back, that kind of fills in this space down here, which is nice. Then we're going to rotate the waist 180 degrees and split the legs apart. These will almost assuredly accidentally fold in as you're transforming him, but just in case they don't, make sure they're pushed all the way in. And then you can kind of use the ankle tilt to get him to stand here. And we're just about done. Let me rotate the camera up a little bit. You're going to drop this section down so that we can grab the fists out of here. They will rotate out, and then just rotate them around and then close that up. So repeat that over here with this arm, flip this out, close that up, and then rotate the fist. Oh, I did not mean to push that in. All right, there we go. There is Scourge, aka Black Convoy, in robot mode. He looks phenomenal, in my opinion. A lot of people have complained about the excess of pink plastic here on the shoulders. It doesn't bother me at all, because honestly, I'm looking at the head sculpt and the chest. I think those look absolutely fantastic. You have some really nice light piping there for those eyes. Some really nice teal and pink here for the windows on the chest. Some more teal and silver down here. You even have the upside down G2 Autobot symbol, which I love. That's exactly out of the show, so that was really well done. Really nice blue metallic paint there, the teal. Some more teal down here. Just all in all, I think he looks absolutely fantastic. They did a really nice job with the color scheme on this guy. I've always really liked this character. Let's go ahead and give him his sword. And I think I did have, I'm pretty sure I did have the release of this guy from Robots in Disguise back in the day. I'm pretty sure I did have that. It was just the repaint of the G2 Laser Prime. But I think this mold is even better just because that transformation was pretty simplistic back in the day. I think you literally just like pulled the arms down. The arms just tucked against the body. And then I think like a panel opened up here. The head flipped out and that was pretty much it. It was a very basic transformation. Still a great toy. But this is just really neatly engineered the way this transforms. I love it. I think you get so much great articulation here. You have the head on a ball joint so you can kind of look up a decent amount, look down a decent amount. You can swivel side to side. I think you can even tilt a little bit side to side, but not a ton. The shoulders do not completely turn, so these shoulder pads do not move, but you can move this little panel up and you get a full range of motion down here where the actual shoulder is. So you can go out to the side, you can go to the front. You can hear the really nice ratchet there, which is great. You have that bicep swivel. You have 90 degrees there in the elbow. You do have a swivel side to side. Technically, there is a ball joint in there, but because of the way the arm closes up, you can't really utilize it. But there is technically a ball joint in there, but while it's closed, you can really just kind of swivel side to side. But that's really all you need. You have a waist swivel here. You can kick pretty far out to the side. You can kick pretty much all the way back, all the way forward. You got a thigh swivel there. Yeah, 90 degrees. I thought maybe there was a possibility of a little bit more. You got ankle tilt, of course. Now, do these things... I think these are supposed to... Actually, these are supposed to flip up, I think. I never even remember these are here. But I think these are left over. The legs are kind of reused from Earthrise Prime, and I think these are from that. I think when you're in... I'll have to double check this, but I think when you're in vehicle mode... The hands will clip into this if you have these flipped up. But they were not like this in the packaging, so I missed them. So I don't even think you have to do it. I mean, honestly, you don't have to do that. If you want to do it for a little bit more stability in the vehicle mode, you absolutely can. But it's really not going anywhere. But this guy looks amazing. I love this color scheme. Of course, we got to bring in Laser Prime from Wave 1 of Legacy. They just look so good. I mean, they both look great, but this guy's got so much more color going on in the chest. Like, this still looks good, don't get me wrong, but he's got, you know, the teal-lined windows. The windows are pink, so they hide the matrix a little better, and I'll show that off in a moment. But you got the teal, the silver, you know, you got all this teal up here. It just feels like there's a lot more. Like, he does have some nice silver up here, don't get me wrong, but I just feel like this color scheme is a little bit more cohesive and just pops a little bit more. And the other thing that I really enjoy, he's got that light piping, but even without it, you can see those pink eyes. His eyes did not really pop for me. I think they painted them blue, but they're kind of sunk in there and it's hard to see them, and he doesn't have light piping, so his eyes are very hard to see. I just kind of have to trust they're in there, but you don't run into that with Scourge. You can see those eyes. They glow, they are menacing, and they look fantastic. So he might even have a little bit of a one-up on G2 Laser Prime for me. Not to put down G2 Laser Prime. I'm definitely not. But I love this color scheme. Let's go ahead, let's bring his trailer back in here so you can get kind of a idea of the size comparison there. And I did mention that you can take this off. So if you want him to hold this in his hand as a gun, you can do that. The directions show you pegging it into this for some reason, but you absolutely can. Like I said, he's got a connection here on the side of the leg. That looks kind of cool. I don't think he has any connections. I guess technically he does have one on the bottom of his forearm, so you could peg it in here. And then I guess we could rotate this if we wanted to do something like that. Not the best, but it can be done. Speaking of those shoulders, you can lift these up for missiles, which I kind of wish there was a little bit of paint in here. Just doing it all in the pink plastic loses it a little bit. You don't really see all the sculpted detail, kind of gets lost, but not a big deal. But yeah, overall, he looks fantastic. I love him in robot mode. Vehicle mode looks great too, but I mean, this robot mode, especially with the little trailer playset here, I think this really, really looks good together. Couple of last features that I often forget about because personally I don't utilize them all that often. You can open up the chest here, and he does have a little matrix inside. It can be a little difficult to get out sometimes. Hey, that was actually fairly simple. And it's just kind of a simple little translucent pink matrix that has the outside painted silver, which does look pretty cool. I kind of wish the core was the translucent pink and then like the outer core was the teal and then the silver. But I get it. They probably, one, the teal probably wouldn't have bonded to the pink that well, and two, they probably just don't have the budget for that many paint applications, but would have looked kind of neat. Now, you can take this and bring this axe piece back, and there is a little peg here that you can go ahead. There's just kind of a large peg hole there on the back, and you can peg that on there, and then take the sword and drop this down on the top, and make this goofy weapon for some reason. I'm not a huge fan of this look. I don't really get it. I'm not a huge fan of this axe in general. I really just kind of like the sword. Again, it's all personal preference. I also don't know why you would take the matrix and attach it to a weapon and then start using it. That doesn't really make any sense to me either. But again, you have options. They are different configurations you can do with the weapons. Otherwise, we can just pop open the chest here and put the matrix back in for safekeeping. So there you go. So I think this guy came out great. I mean, yes, it's just a repaint of G2 Laser Prime, but it's a really good repaint. I think they did a great job. One thing that really stands out to me over the original, the light piping for the eyes. That was something I felt like the original, the eyes really got lost. It was kind of blue on blue and there was no lighting, and because the crest, the helmet's kind of so big, the eyes were a little bit sunken back, they really got lost. That is not the case here. Even when you don't have light shining through, those eyes are very pronounced, they look menacing, they look fantastic. All of the metallic paint looks amazing. The silver for the mouth, you have the highlights of the teal everywhere, looks amazing. You have the translucent pink here for the windows. I know some people complain about it on the shoulders, and I admit, if I had my way, I probably wouldn't have it there either, but it doesn't bother me that much. I love the upside down G2 Autobot symbols for the shoulders there. That is fantastic attention to detail. Someone who has not seen car robots will not understand that reference, so that's a little bit of a deep cut, but it is 100% accurate to the show, so I love that. Yeah, there's just really not too much to complain about this one. I think it is my preferred figure out of the two. Not to put down G2 Laser Prime from the first wave of Legacy, because he was great. But this is just kind of taking a great mold and just improving upon it. A couple little flaws that one had, I think they really fixed for this guy, and just his overall color scheme I've always loved. It's crazy to think that Car Robots was 20 years ago, Let that sink in for a moment. 20 years ago, and the show does not get enough recognition. I really need to see new updated versions. I mean, truth be told, a lot of those toys were pretty great for the time. The Autobot brothers were a lot of fun. I'd love to see new versions. I'd love to see them get updates, but a lot of those toys still really hold up. JRX is a great toy that I feel like still really holds up. But again, I'd love to see some new versions of them. But in any case, Scourge, Black Convoy, whatever you want to call this guy, he's great. I definitely recommend picking him up. It is a Walmart exclusive, which can be difficult. But like I said, he's been in stock fairly frequently on the website. So head over to walmart.com if you're looking for this guy and definitely try to pick him up there. Hopefully you should have some decent luck. I definitely recommend picking him up. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, thanks so much for watching.